All right. Well, listen, the street outreach team is here. Can we have them stand up and give them a big thank you? What an amazing group of people. Thank you all for being here. I'm not using the podium this year. You should all be very afraid of that, by the way. But I'm going to share a few words with you. I want to thank you all for coming tonight. You are the heart and soul of everything we do. There's some people that I want to say a quick thank you to before we get into the heart of the matter. First and foremost, Bishop Daly, Bishop Skillstad, thank you both for being here and for your leadership in this diocese. Our many great Catholic Charity board members are here tonight. If you're here, could you wave your hand or stand up, all of our board members? These are our wisdom keepers. These are our advice givers. These are the people that buoy us and encourage us. I want to thank all the priests and deacons and women religious that are in the room. They are so special to us. And this year I want to spend a little time on this one because you need to know about our priests and deacons and women religious in this diocese. Now, Catholic Charities does a great job. We're super proud of what we do. There's no doubt about that. And you look at a program where we're serving people like in the Loft, in the Spark, homeless teens in Walla Walla. So many kids that we serve in residential settings. We're really good at that. But you know what? We are not the pioneers. You know who is? Father Joe Weitensteiner at Morningstar Boys Ranch. He did it long before us. We build a lot of housing at Catholic Charities. There's no doubt about it. We got over 3,000 units. Over 5,000 men, women, and children are going to put their heads on Catholic Charities pillows tonight. But we were not the first to do that. You know who was? Father Frank Bach back in the 60s. And everyone in the diocese told him he was crazy. It would never work. He did it anyway. We have this great program at Prepares. We're helping young, pregnant, often teenage girls go through that childbirth process and choose life. But we're not the first ones that did that. You know who the pioneer of that is? It's Father Dr. Stan Molnar, who delivered 3,000 Kappa babies over the years. We do a lot of work with healthcare. And in the last 10 or 15 years, integrating healthcare and social services, it's what we're all doing now. But we were not the first to do this. It was Dominican sisters and Providence sisters who did that 100 years ago. They were way ahead of us on that curve. And when COVID hit a few years ago and we had to move everyone to sleep 6 feet apart and all of a sudden we needed a few extra 100 shelter beds, you know who it was who called me? Deacon John Rasinski at the retreat center and said, take over our campus, turn it into a shelter. There's no retreat center in America that would call and say, sure, take over my campus and use it as a shelter. That's what our deacons do. God bless them. And just in terms of support, we have so many great people in this room who have given us so many gifts over the years, but really the pioneer, Sister Madonna Buter. You would have seen a couple of years ago during the Super Bowl, Nike did a commercial about her and ran it in the Super Bowl, and they paid her 7 figures for it, and she gave it to Catholic Charities the next day. That is the pioneer of giving. Priests, deacons, women religious, these are the pioneers even of the work that we do. Thank you, all of them. Finally, I want to thank my wife, Rachel. The reason I could do all this work, she puts up with me. I'm a lot, I'm not going to lie. So thank you, Rachel, for all that you do. You've heard about a lot of our partners in the room. I'm going to talk a little bit more about a few of them. First of all, it doesn't get any better than Providence. John Kreider, Scott O'Brien, Ron Rain is here. Ron Rain is the reason we built housing in Colville is because Ron went to bat for us with the mayor and the city council up there, or else that building doesn't get built. Providence is a huge partner of us. We have multiple programs. We have multiple of our staff in their buildings, and they have multiple of their staff coming to our programs. They're just a huge partner. Also in the room, the builders of the Catholic Charities world. We have Garco, Tim Welsh, Jamie Welsh, Clancy Welsh. We've got Inland Group, Darren Davison, John Lemberg, Scott Selfo. These are the people that build the bricks and mortar of all the work that we do, and they are hugely important to us. Chris Codd at D.A. Davidson takes care of so many of our benefits. Our attorneys, Matt Daly, Mac Mayo, Kim Campbell, they keep us centered and protected at all times. Matt likes to remind me, Rob, just because we're an agency that loves peace does not mean that we are not skilled in a fight. And sometimes you got to fight, and our attorneys do that for us. They're amazing people. Pat Shine from Alliant with all of our benefits. The Catholic schools, there are many Catholic school staff here tonight. All of the schools send kids to volunteer at Catholic Charities programs. It's a huge gift to us. It teaches these kids what's important in life, and we have incredible partnerships with all of the Catholic schools, and we're so grateful for them. Our development department who put this event on tonight, Cassie Kane, Heidi Meany, Anne-Marie Bird, that whole crew, Ed Hoffman, Michaela, everyone over there, just doing a great job. Jacob, sorry, I forgot Jacob. They put this event together, and it's just a great party every single year, so thank you to all of them. Also, Gonzaga University. We have so many partnerships with Gonzaga. On any given day of the week, there are Gonzaga nursing students doing health checkups and physicals for kids. There's accounting students doing tax preps. There's athletes doing yoga classes and healthy living classes. Sodexo gives us so much food. It's unbelievable how much food they deliver to our programs every year. And it's Gonzaga Haven, and like the video you saw with Molly and her team, they are constantly helping us in so many ways. It's absolutely inspiring. It comes from so many great leaders like Joe Pass, who Joe told me he was going to do an interpretive dance here tonight. Joe, are you ready to come up and show the room what you got? Oh, next year. Okay, next year. But one thing I do want to say about Gonzaga, and I've been waiting 25 years for this, because every year, Thane and Julie McCullough can't come to the gala because it's graduation weekend. They're here this year, and they are the reason Gonzaga is so connected to Catholic Charities and to the poor and to protecting vulnerable people. Thane and Julie, could you stand up and be recognized by this room full of people? You're around here somewhere. There they are. So at Catholic Charities, one of the things I want to tell you about tonight, what are the 3 hardest words to say to anyone? Think about that for a minute. What are the 3 toughest words to say to someone? Well, I think in the top 3 list for me are the 3 words, I need help. And I'm not talking about, hey, honey, I lost my keys, I need help, I can't unjam the printer. I'm talking about life or death, I need help. Those words are very difficult to say for most people. They're very hard to hear for the people who hear it. They're heart-wrenching. But at Catholic Charities, that's what we do. People come to us and say, I need help. And it's serious help. And every year, we keep doing that work. If you're a senior citizen and you're isolated and alone, and you're having to choose between paying your rent and buying prescriptions, we're going to help you. We send staff to come, give you a ride to the doctor and the grocery store, mow your lawn, clean your bathroom, de-hoard your basement, whatever you need. If you're someone who's going through a tough pregnancy, Prepares is here to help you. If you're someone who's suffering from addiction or mental health and you say, I need help, I'm hearing voices, I can't stop using drugs, our SUD teams and our mental health teams are here to help them every step of the way. If you need childcare, and let me tell you, if you want to go to work, you got to leave your kids somewhere, and you have to say, I need help. I can't do this alone. We operate, I think, the biggest child care center in the state of Washington at St. Anne's, and then we have more centers at our housing complexes. So moms and dads who are coming out of homelessness can leave their kids somewhere safe and go to work because they need help to do that. If you're hungry, we've got Food for All. If you're not getting fresh fruits and vegetables, Food for All will deliver them to you. If you live in a food desert, they will take care of you. So many of the things that we do, obviously around homelessness, involve people saying, I need help. You saw it on the video. People that I've known who are on the streets for years that have always said, no, I don't want help, are now saying, I need help. Why? Because 7 days a week, 5 different teams of Catholic Charities homeless outreach folks are going out along the riverbanks and under the underpasses and around town and in alleys and everywhere else, and they're saying to people who say, I need help, they're saying, I'm here for you. That's pretty impressive. Programs like Catalyst, programs like St. Margaret's, Rising Strong, these are all people that are saying, I need help. And not just a little help, I need big help. And that's what we do at Catholic Charities. And I'm so proud of the staff that does that for us. I would like anyone who is a staff person at Catholic Charities to stand up, and let's hear it for you and all the work that you do. Folks, these are people who immerse themselves into the lives of people who are suffering every single day. They often feel like it might be a thankless job. We're not paying them a mint, but they come back every day because they care about our mission to feed the hungry, heal the hurting, and welcome the stranger. We could not do this work without them. So what's new at Catholic Charities? Well, as usual, some of the big news has to do with our housing program. Jonathan Mallahan leads that for us. He's got an amazing team. Last year, since the last gala, we opened Dominican Sisters Haven in Colville, thanks to Ron Rain in Providence in great part. 72 families coming out of homelessness. We opened Holy Family Haven in Clarkston, another 72 families coming out of homelessness and living in struggle. We let the Catholic school kids name that project. The Holy Family Catholic school kids named it. And let me tell you, some of the ideas they came up with were hilarious. They were incredible. But that project is up and running. And in those two Eastern Washington cities now, family homelessness is pretty close to functional zero because we opened those properties. Absolutely. On Sunday, we're going to do a ground blessing at St. Agnes Haven, which is right on Government Way and Sunset Boulevard. And we're going to go down there, we're going to say a prayer, we're going to sprinkle some holy water. I'm going to bury a hockey puck. Now you're saying, what? A hockey puck? What's up with the hockey puck? Well, 25 years ago when we did Bernadette Place, it used to be Donna Hanson who would bury a St. Christopher medal in every property at every ground blessing. And when we built Bernadette Place, she said, Rob, you got to learn how to do this. You're in charge of the ground blessing. You got to get something to bury in the property. We're going to say some prayers. And the day came, and I got the really great St. Christopher medal, just like Donna did, and it came time to bury it, and I pulled it out. And Donna said 3 words to me that she has probably said to many people in this room. Probably her 3 most favorite words that she said more often than any of them: get a grip. And she said, Rob, you got to bury something that's meaningful to you. And she reached into her pink purse and pulled out a hockey puck. And she said, this is you. And so every single thing we've built at Catholic Charities for the last 26 years has a hockey puck buried in the foundation. And on Sunday, we'll bury one at St. Agnes and give more families a chance. St. Jude's Haven is starting construction right now. We're renovating several different apartment complexes where everyone's going to get a brand new apartment. Down to the studs, everything's going to be brand new. We move people out. They move back in a couple weeks. That's all paid for with tax credits. That's happening this year. And probably the most exciting thing we're working on this year, which should break ground hopefully in June, somewhere around there, is River Haven, which is 72 units of family housing for families coming out of homelessness, but also we're building the Salish School a new campus while we're at it, right over at the Holy Names Convent. This is an important moment for Catholic Charities. It's an important moment for us and our relationship with Native American people. I think Chris and Lorraine from the Salish School are here tonight somewhere, and they have been our partners for many years on this, and we're going to break ground this summer on that project. Now, in the last 5 years, what we've talked about a lot is obviously homelessness and housing, and those have been difficult conversations from this microphone at this dinner. There's no doubt about that. I'm reminded of something that my dad told me my whole life growing up. And it's interesting because my dad passed away 2 years ago, and I asked my siblings, like, don't you remember when Dad always used to say this? And they said, he never said that to me. What he said to me 100 different times when I used to be going through something tough or complaining about something, he'd say, Rob, pressure is a privilege. It means something great is expected of you. And I never liked it when he said that, quite frankly, but the reality is I think there's some truth to that. And what we've gone through the last few years has been pressure from the community. And that means that something great is expected of us. And I'm here to tell you tonight, something great is happening now. And the fact that just a year ago in this very speech, I spent most of my speech telling you, okay, folks, when you get cornered in the grocery store or a backyard barbecue and someone's giving you an earful about Catholic Charities or House of Charity or homelessness or drugs or downtown Spokane, here's what you tell them. That's what I did in my speech last year. It's been a year and a lot has changed. Something great was expected of us and something great has now happened. And you saw what that great thing is. It's the homeless outreach team. They have closed out 2,500 different calls about homeless people in encampments in downtown Spokane in not even 1 year. That's amazing. And this is really good news. And the barometer of this good news, for me, the best way to tell you about that is to tell you about why I kind of really don't like Christmas, which seems odd. But the truth is, I don't love Christmas because every year at Christmas, we do our Christmas collection. And for about 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, up to about a week into New Year's, I'm going around and meeting with major donors and sitting in their homes, their offices, and coffee shops, and I'm asking them for money for the Christmas collection. It's the one time a year we go out. And for the last 5 years, every single time I go in one of those meetings, and I do dozens of these over a 6 weeks period, every time I've gone to one of those meetings, the first hour of those meetings has been, what's going on downtown? What's going on with homelessness? What's the deal with the House of Charity? What's the deal with drugs? What's going on? And we spend an hour talking about that before I even get to the point where I'm going to ask them to help me out at Catholic Charities. In fact, it got to the point where I created all these 2-minute videos, which you can see online on our webpage, that answers the top 10 questions people have about homelessness in Spokane and downtown. And I would email them to these major donors before I met with them and say, hey, can you watch this before we meet? We'll save a ton of time because I'm going to answer all your questions. Here we are, and for the first time this past Christmas, going to dozens of these major donor meetings, not one person asked me about homelessness or downtown or what's going on. First time in 5 or 6 years. That means something has changed. Something's getting better. Something great was expected of us, and something great is now happening. We're making progress downtown. You're going to see that when the point in time comes out. I think those numbers are going to be lower. If you drive through downtown, you will notice there is less visible homelessness, less encampments. That is the homeless outreach team and the police department working together. There's no doubt about that. We are starting to make some serious progress. And as you heard there, what we keep needing is more shelter beds and more housing. But I can tell you this, even some of the downtown business owners who have kind of given me an earful over the years have said to me in recent months, hey, things are getting a little better. They're noticing it. These are good signs. The pressure that we've endured over a couple years, it is a privilege because something great is expected of us. Something is great is expected of all of us in this room. And I'm glad to say that with the outreach team, with House of Charity, with St. Margaret's, with Catalyst, with all the havens that you read about all the time on Facebook and Nextdoor, that we are making progress in this battle. This is good news. I'm happy to be able to report to you that something great has been expected and something great is being delivered. What it shows us is we can make progress. Yes. We can win this battle. We can prove that love always wins. We can prove that. We are proving it this past year. I think we will continue to prove it. But we can only do it with you. The theme of tonight's gala is Stand By Me. Great song, great movie. Everybody loves it. Everybody knows it. I'd like to ask you all to stand by me now, to stand by Catholic Charities. And tonight, we're going to do this a little different. Now, you know this is the point of the evening where I'm going to ask you to give us some money to help us along in our way, in our journey, in our path at Catholic Charities. But don't get those cards and those pens out yet, because we've got a couple more minutes here before I want you to think about what number you might be able to do for us tonight. And really, it's whatever is meaningful to you. If you're just starting out in life and money's tight, maybe it's what's meaningful is, hey, this is what I spend on coffee in a couple months. And if you're a little bit more stable, maybe it's, hey, this is what I spend going out to eat in a month or 2 or 3. And maybe if you're blessed with financial security and the ability, maybe it's, hey, what did I spend on my last vacation? What did I spend on my last car? Maybe it's something even bigger than that. Whatever's meaningful to you is what I want you to consider helping out with tonight for Catholic Charities. But I'm not going to do it myself, because tonight we're going to do it a little bit differently. I'm bringing in the big guns. bringing up the person who is most responsible for any success that I've ever had at Catholic Charities. My wife, Rachel, 27-year teacher at St. Thomas More. Rachel, come on up. But we need more. We also need Mary Cole, longtime worker at Catholic Charities, was the bishop's secretary, worked in the chancery for years. Mary, come on up. Now, if you're Our Lady of Fatima parishioner, and you remember a long time ago before the new church was built, and you went to Saturday night Mass, what you would have noticed is these two amazing women were doing the music at Saturday night Mass. And in fact, Father Coons, who's here tonight, got to calling this group the Chancery Trio, because we all three worked at Catholic Charities. Now, good news, don't worry, I don't sing, ever. But tonight, we're going to try and entertain and inspire you a little bit with a little special presentation. And ladies, okay, I'm going to have to take the jacket off for this.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see, no, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. If it's the sky that we look upon should tumble and fall, or the mountains should crumble to the sea, I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Won't you stand now? Oh, stand, stand by me. And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand now. Stand by me. Stand by me.
Let's hear it for them. So whatever you can give, whatever's meaningful for you, there's cards on your table. I'd ask you to fill them out and give something that you think can help us win this fight. This is a big night for us. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for your generosity. And come back next year. We're going to keep doing it. Thanks, everybody.
we take a moment again just to appreciate what we saw in that earlier video of the street outreach team? Extraordinary people doing extraordinary work well. And the church together says, amen. I'm sorry, let's try that again. The church together says, amen. All right, that'll pass. This concludes our 2026 Gala program for the evening. We want to make a couple of quick points. We invite you to please feel free to leave your name tags at the table. Please note, very importantly, the bars are still open, but please get home safe. Please get home safe. We'd like you to come back next year. Please hang around, stay, visit, continue to socialize. Do not forget your gift bags. Rob may or may not have hidden a gas card in 3 of those. Good luck. And we will be back here next year, May 7th, 2027, and I'm being moved on.
I forgot to thank one very important partner, Express Employment. You need to know about this because they give back about $100,000 a year of their fees to Catholic Charities. Thank you to the Amstadter family.
Thank you one last time. You don't need to hear any more from me tonight. Please continue to enjoy the evening. We will see you here again in a year. Yes, yes, of course, yes. Where else would you be? May 7th, Friday, 2027. Thank you. Good night.